I'm going through the answers of the questions. Page and the answers. V'hine, the title is Shelo Yishalu Medua Netash Otom. They did not send
Shelo Yishalu.
The question.
Yeah, they should not question.
Medua, why?
Yeah, Natash, like abandon, right? To be
Abandoned. Why did why he was abandoned? Maybe.
They shouldn't ask why he abandoned them, but I don't know who are we talking about.
והנה הדבר הראשון אשר יפול לב אדם עליו הדבר הסמיכות. The first thing that will disturb a person is something that is semichut.
Smichut is like connection. Connection. Yeah, what's the, right? The question was, if you look in the question, what's the connection with the previous part?
הלא הוא כי אחרי אמרו, after he says, ואת ישוע ציוויתי בעת ההיא, that I commanded Yeshua to at that time.
Right.
והיה פתחון פה. And there was perfect timing. והיה פתחון פה was he started speaking.
They could say, right? In other words, there was a possibility, right? Pitchon, like petach.
להתלונן.
Right.
Al Moshe Lemor to Leitonen is
your name, we're talking about you.
Leitonen means to what again?
Complain.
Complain.
No, not me.
No, they would complain to Moshe.
Moshe. Hello. Go on.
Hello who? Ki'av. Another hello who?
Yeah,
hello Ke'av. Levanim hayita lanu tamid.
Hello.
Like a
father who
Levanim to his sons.
left to his sons. We had a like
you were to us like a father to his sons.
Who is he talking? They're talking about Moshe?
No, the people. We could think that now there is an option. Right, Moshe is basically going away, right, in the next world. And so maybe they would say, why are you abandoning us? You were like father to his sons, right? Tamid, you were always with us.
Ken
Yair, like an eagle. Yair Kino, all goes alive, they're a chayv. Goes alive like babies.
Yair is to suckle?
Sort of like high.
What's Kano?
Yeah, Kino is a nest. Like you're like an eagle over the nest, protecting, Al goes alive on his cheeks, right? Yirachev, hovering.
Ma zota sita lanu ki netashtanu.
So what is this that you've done to us that you have
abandoned us, right? Netashtanu, lintoshto, abandoned.
Ki halo hayat.
But he hasn't abandoned them yet. I don't know why
Right,
is he
not
saying
yet,
this?
but he is already right. That's why he's saying here with Yeshua that he could appointed Yeshua already, right?
So at that time they could have said,
Right.
why
So
you
like,
banning
what are
me?
you doing,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
What we want
Yeah.
you, you know?
yeah.
כי הלא היה בעת רצון אשר נתן שם היה לך את שני מלכי האמורי. כי הלא
At that time, it was the will of Hashem,
Right.
and he gave in your hand the two kings of
Amorite.
Og and Shihon.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sichon melech Bashan and Og melech Amori.
להתחלת להוריש ארצם לנחלה
And you started to overcome them, to
Lehorish, like to inherit, to
inherit Atzmam,
Artzam, their land.
the land is Atzam?
Aretz. Artzam, their land.
The land, Lenahala,
Lenachala for
is an
this.
inheritance.
It's a inheritance settlement, yeah.
אז תחת חלות פני אל ויחננו תחילה
Then, and after Halot Peni El
ויחננו תחילה. Yeah, like instead, Chalot B'nei Hashem, perceiving the face of Hashem, so to speak, V'yachanenu, and he had this, he liked us. It's a time of, special, what is it? Favor, right? It's Tchilah. It's like it's a beginning of the great favor, right? We now defeated these two kings. It's the beginning of like this, favor in front of Hashem.
תבוא עמנו אל
Come
הארץ
with us to the land.
Right.
כי זכותך הייתה עומדת לנו
Because your merit stands before us.
כי אתה תעבור
Because you will cross
ואתה תנחילנו אותה
and you will, what's Tanachinu?
Lehatchil, like to settle, to divide.
כי לא ימנע השם ממך
Because Hashem is not.
Gonna prevent it from you. Like you, Moshe, you're just the best person, because Hashem is not gonna prevent. Right.
But this is it's so strange that he's saying all of this after he says V'itchanan. I prayed. It's suggesting that Moshe didn't want to go into the land. How can they even suggest that?
I know. That was the question. Why? What's the connection with the previous parish? Right. So how could they think like that? You're saying.
Yeah.
I know. Well, maybe they would think that maybe somehow Moshe has power to, at least enter with us. Maybe you could do something. Why are you leaving us, right?
Maybe they thought it was his choice.
Maybe.
Okay.
אחר החילותת לפניך ארצות גויים
After he gave in front of you the land of the Goyim,
ולחלקם נחלה לישראל עמו.
and to as an inheritance to divide amongst Israel.
ועד רבה את יהושע צביתה בעת ההיא תחתך ואתה עזבתנו.
And in the contrary, you actually, at that point, instead of doing all of that, you appointed Yeshua to come take over you, and you left, and you're leaving us.
Right. It's like instead of Adraba, you're appointing Yeshua right now when we need, so to speak, you. It shows you how Jewish people are so attached to Moshe Rabbeinu.
וזה אמר,
זה אמר על יעלה על Ruchachem kadavar hazeh.
That's why he says,
Al
Don't-
Yaleh.
don't think about these
right.
things. Don't
Don't
imagine
raise it
this.
in your mind, right?
Ki-
Ki de'u efo
Because they knew where.
You should know it, right? It's like from coming
ki
from Moshe.
hine ha'etchanan el Hashem be'et hahi shecha vashti sichon ve'ag.
I think
That
he's
I
answering your
implored.
question, Shlomo.
Huh?
I think he's answering your question. It was right before, right? So now he's saying, that's why he says, Beit Hanan el Hashem. He's explaining, in other words, Moshe Rabbeinu is explaining to Jewish people, don't think that I'm abandoning you. I'm davening to Hashem all the time that he should let me go
I
with
see.
you.
Right.
שבעת ההיא הייתה עת ראויה לאמור התפילה הזאת.
I thought we skipped something.
Because Shebete, but at that time,
All right, so that's why it says Be'et Hahi, right? There was a question. What is it? What this
at that
Be'et
time, in
Hahi?
other words, straight after Sichon and
Right,
Og, right?
right.
הייתה עת ראוי לומר תפילה הזאת. It was the right time to say this prayer.
Right.
כי הייתה עת רצון
Because it was Hashem's will.
וזהו אמרו בעת ההיא לאמור.
That's why I said at that time saying.
Right. There was like a time of Hashem's favor, et ratzon, right? Because we won these two wars, and now was a good thing here for Moshe to start praying that, you know, maybe Hashem changed his mind, because, you know, Moshe really already kind of begin to conquer the Eretz Israel on the other side of Jordan.
Right.
Okay. והתחנן שלשני לאמור תפילתי.
And he implored
Sheyersheni,
that he will allow me
right, le'emor tfilati.
that I should say my prayer.
I prayed to Hashem that he should let me pray to him. I think that's what he's saying.
יאמר
Or you could say,
כל כך היה רחוק הוא יתברך משמועה תפילתי זאת.
Hashem was so far away from listening to my prayer.
כי הנה ואתחנן אל השם בעת ההיא כדי שירשני לאמור לפניו דברי תפילתי זאת.
That I implored Hashem at that time that he should allow me to say my prayers to him.
ואם כל זה ולא שמע אליי ואהרונה.
And in spite of this, he did not listen to me
Right.
at the end.
אדוני השם, אתה הכילותה להראות את עבדך את גדלך ואת ידך החזקה אשר ממעל בשמיים ובארץ אשר יעשה כמעשיך וכיבורותיך.
Hashem, my God, you began to show me to your servant the big and
Your greatness at Gadlecha.
the chazaka,
With Yad HaChazaka, in your mighty hand,
and your
right?
mighty hand, which
Like which God, right, Bashamayim,
which God in the heavens or the earth, who makes this thing like you're doing
right?
with your strength.
Right.
Okay, title.
כנותן מנה חסד דינר.
He gives.
It's like giving a money. Money is like, I think, coinage, right? Certain denomination, which is, I think, 4 dinars. In one money, there are 4 dinars. How many?
It says
Right, so he's saying it cannot turn money. It's like giving money missing, which is missing
missing,
dinar.
missing.
Yeah. Chaser, I mean, to miss.
Like you're giving a gift that is missing something.
Right, you gave me, right, $100 change, right, but, you know, there's $20 missing.
A dinar is more than.
Yeah, dinar, I don't remember, I think it's maneh, I think it's 4 dinars.
Mine
I'm
is
correct.
4 dinars.
Maneh, I think so, but I
So
might
you're
be
giving
wrong.
me a big amount and you're
You gave
deducting
me,
some of it.
you gave, like, right, in the last minute you don't let me go to Eretz Israel, you gave me
Right.
all these great gifts,
Right.
but now something is missing here in the end. I think that's the idea.
Brit,
Brit, Kabalah, Ve'amra, Adonai Elohim, Ata, V'chulahu.
And I prayed and said, Hashem, my God,
Right.
you,
Lomar, Halo, Yikreni, Kim Kabel, Mei Rabo, Manech, Chaser, Dina.
it's like giving somebody a coin which is missing value.
Mm-hmm.
Sha'amor, Yomar, Ha'eved, La'adonav.
It says, you said to your servant,
The servant will tell to his master, right? It's like the master giving somebody, right, 100, shekels, missing, less 20. So the Eved, Yomar ha'Eved le'adonav, to his master.
למה זה?
למה זה אינך תירא מהשלם כל המנה
Why did you not give me the complete amount?
Right.
אחר אשר החילותה
After you started,
Mm-hmm.
ונשאר מעט מהרבה
and there remains a little bit from the big amount that you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
ויקרא עליך שנותן מנה
And it will be called upon you.
Yeah, and you're gonna
Your
be right
You'll be
called.
known as
Right, we'll know like you giving
somebody
money,
who
right?
gives money.
מה שאין כן
There,
בהיעדר האחד
Which is not
which is not if it's when it's missing one.
missing.
Mm-hmm.
כי נמצאתה מתחיל ולא גומר כן הדבר הזה.
It's like you're starting something and not finishing.
Mhm.
This is like
Mm-hmm.
the next type.
Wow. If only I could argue with myself like this. If I had the chutzpah.
You can.
Okay, yeah, I can.
Yeah, I mean it's known that tzaddikim, right? You talk to Hashem, Rabbi Nachman.
Hashem, you brought me this
Right,
far.
they bargain with Hashem.
Apparently Hashem likes it.
Yeah, there is such a school of thought.
כי מקבל הקנה בלא מתנה.
Someone getting a
כמקבל ההכנה.
הכנה.
ולא, רגע, הכנה, לא? הכנה ולא מתנה.
Inheritance and not a gift.
מקבל הכנה ולא מתנה. Like it's receiving preparation without gift. I don't know.
Without getting the whole,
Without without the gift.
like the wrapping paper.
It's the same thing. It's like you started something and you didn't give it to me. So it's like preparing to give something and not giving it to me.
And not giving.
מעין זה, הלא תדמה אל מקבל הוכנות הראויות לקבלת מתנה.
Or
Similarly,
it could be
right?
like
Me'en ze, similarly. Tidme, it's like, right? Dome, right?
Someone who receives
Right,
a preparation,
right. Harauyot, appropriate preparations.
proper is hayora,
Rauyot, yeah, rau is like proper.
לקבל מנה
Matana.
to receive a gift.
Right.
ולא יקבל את המתנה עצמה,
And he doesn't receive the gift
Right.
itself.
והוא,
Yeah.
והוא כי הנה כל ניסי מצרים,
And that is all the
Miracles.
miracles of Mitzrayim,
ועלות ישראל מתוכם,
to take Israel out of them.
Right.
וגם הנעשה ממצרים, ויד הנה,
Right.
And you do all the things that you do to Mitzrayim.
From Mitzrayim, from right till now, till here,
הוא התחלה והוכנה אל נתינת הארץ,
It's the beginning of bringing us to a land,
כי הוא תחילת המחשבה וסוף המעשה.
because we know that the beginning, that the end of the thought is is what produced at the end.
כי על כן, מאז דיבר אדוני אל משה,
Because at that time Hashem spake to Moses, saying,
אמר, וארד להצילו מיד מצרים ולהעלותו וכולו על ארץ וכולו.
He told Moshe, go down to take them out of Egypt so that you can bring them to the
in other words, the job is not finished, right? Like
that was the original job description.
the whole job description was taking them out of Egypt, bringing them to Eretz Israel.
ובפרשת בערב כתיב, לכן אמור לבני ישראל, אני השם והוצאתי וכולו.
The parashat,
Yeah, in a parasha, Vayere, in the Sefer Shmot.
Lechen Amar, therefore he says,
No, therefore tell to them,
Therefore
say
tell
to the
to
Jewish
Israel,
people, Livnei Israel.
I am God who
V'hotzeiti, that's what we say at the Seder, right? We drink
Take you
4
out.
cups, right? This is the v'hotzeiti, v'lakachti, v'hibeti, v'hitzalti, all of this.
והבאתי
Hibeti didn't happen.
אתכם אל הארץ וכולו, יש כל מנה, והבאתי אתכם אל הארץ וכולו, וכן מתן התורה שאחרי כן,
and afterwards we gave the Torah after that.
גם כי היא הייתה לשקיימוה בארץ.
You hear, like, it's like
Because that's-
living your whole life in the Golus.
No, because he says
And
that
not
because,
going on
because the
Aliyah,
whole
yeah.
point of the Torah which you gave us was so that we can fulfill it in the land.
Right.
Right.
So people who like stay in the Golus their whole life, they're missing very important part here.
Very true.
כי שם עיקר קיימה כנודע.
Because this is the soul, the
Ikar is the main, the essence, right?
ומלחמות סיחון ואוג היא הקנה כבישת בית שער להיכנס לטרקלין.
The conquest of Sichon and Og was an opening.
What was the Kvishat Beit Shar? It's a conquering. Beit Shar is like the guard's gate in front of the palace. Right, Traklin is a palace. So conquering these 2 kings, it's like the entrance gate into the palace. It's just the beginning.
And Terkalim is palace.
Traklin is like a palace. Yeah.
נמצא הכל כהתחלה אל נתינת הארץ.
We see that the beginning of everything
For the giving of the land, right? This whole thing is just the beginning, right? Nimtza hakol, everything that, all of that, right? Kehatchala is the beginning el netinat haaretz, for the giving of the land.
נמצא בהיעדרו מלהיכנס.
we find that
Hey, there, with like an absence, milikanes,
so if you don't come in,
right?
כמתחיל לקבל מתנה.
It's like receiving a present.
like beginning to receive the
Beginning.
present, מתחיל.
ואינו גומר תכליתה,
And you didn't finish giving it to him.
כאילו כל הקודם בהיותי שלם,
As if you didn't.
It's like everything, kol hakodem, like
Really, in
everything
the beginning.
before that built Yisrael, it's not complete. Where everything that happened before, right, was beautiful, Yetziat Mitzrayim, the Makot, but without going into Eretz Israel, it's not finished.
רק כמקבל הכנות המתנה ולא עיקרה.
Like you're getting some of the present, but not the.
You're getting only the preparations, like you're getting the fancy box, right, packaging and everything, all the wrapping paper and everything, but nothing inside.
I want to cry.
Yeah, right. So-
נשיא מצרים מדבר מתן תורה וכיבוש המלכים.
The princes of Mitzrayim, Nisei,
No, Nisei,
Miracles.
miracles of the
miracles
Egypt,
of
right.
Egypt, Midaber,
מצרים, hold on, מדבר מתן תורה וכיבוש המלכים. From the giving, starting, I think, beginning, right? מדבר מתן תורה, from the giving of the Torah, וכיבוש המלכים, and the conquering of the kings.
וזהו אמרו,
So what is this? What is that title?
Right,
You're
let's
saying
say
that
the
the miracles.
מצרים, מדבר מתן תורה וכיבוש מלכים. He's just giving you like what basically he's saying, what the events, right? Nisei Mitzrayim, the miracles of Egypt.
Then Midbar.
Right, Midbar, Matan Torah, וכיבוש המלכים, and the
This is
conquering,
the order.
right, of the events.
וזהו אמרו, אתה הכילותה
You
וכולו,
said you started, etc.
כי כל הראותך את גדלך להיטיב את ישראל,
Because
All your showing, ki kol harotcha, all your, well, everything that you showed,
your greatness,
right,
lehad-
leheitiv,
for the good of
Right.
Israel,
right,
ואת ידך החזקה במצרים,
and your strong hand in Israel, in Egypt,
ואשר הראיותני אשר מאל בשמיים בארץ, שהוא
You showed that
אמת
you are-
התורה.
you showed that your mastery is of the world, of the skies, of the heavens and the earth, is like no other. Shehu me'matanat
Shu
Torah.
b'matanat Torah, that at the giving of the Torah, right, the Hashem controlled the heaven and the earth, and the heaven split, and right, the fire and everything.
והוא באשר נשים לב, אל אמרו אשר יעשה,
We should point out or
Mhm.
make take attention
Mhm.
when it says
Asher yaseh, that which you did,
do.
כי מילת אשר היא מיותרת.
There's a word which is redundant.
אך הם שני דברים,
There are two different things.
א',
First,
אשר מאל בשמיים בארץ,
who is like you in the heavens and the earth,
והוא כי מתן תורה ראה משה עין בעין, היותו יתברך בה במצב אחד בשמיים ובארץ,
and when he received the Torah, as if Moshe received the Torah face to face with Hashem,
b'matzav echad, like as one, right? This, I guess, it's the unity of God. B'shamayim ubar is like, in other words, everything was like one. Hashem was in heaven, controlling the heaven and the earth. Moshe could see this one big unity of Hashem.
והוא מה שאמרו ז"ל,
that's sages said,
מהכרח
Mihechrach
הכתובים.
v'ktuvim, right?
from the right.
Necessity of the writings, mihechrech haktuvim,
או ומשה עלה וכולו.
Al ve'al.
when it says Moshe Allah, that Moshe went up,
Yeah.
right? So now he's explaining, Melamed,
מלמד שהרכין הקדוש ברוך הוא השמיים ושמי השמיים העליונים על הר סיני ממש.
Explains that
Herkin, that's like Hashem sort of
descended.
descended, yeah, Lerchin, Rakia, sort of, yeah, spread, stretched. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem stretched, who Hashamayim, V'shmei Hashamayim, the heavens and the heavens of the heaven, the upper Elyonim, Al Har Sinai. Hashem like brought down all the higher worlds and connected it all to the Har Sinai, Mamash. Like somehow, we can't imagine it, but Moshe saw it somehow.
נמצא היה יתברך כאחד בשמיים ובארץ.
So it seems that Hashem was like one.
Simultaneously in the same time, right, so to speak, in the heaven and in the earth, everything, it's, you know, the oneness of Hashem, right? He's everywhere, he's all powerful.
ויהי היום ההוא אמר אשר מאל בשמיים ובארץ כאחד.
That's why he said, Hashem, Moshe said, who is like you from heaven.
In heaven and in the earth, ke'echad, all is one.
כלומר כמוך.
Did he say echad? The actual.
No, he didn't say echad, but that's what the Rav Alshech says, that's what he meant.
Ah, okay.
What does it say here? Asher mi el bashamayim u'ba'aretz. So like I would think that he's saying, okay, Hashem controls the heaven and Hashem controls the earth. But the Rav Alshech is saying a little bit more, that actually Hashem is
The heaven and the
in
earth.
the same, so to speak, time. Hashem is like everywhere, he's all one.
Right.
That's the Ichud Hashem.
Okay.
כלומר כמוך. ב' ועוד,
And further,
ב' ועוד אשר יעשה כמעשיך
who is like you who has the power to do your deeds?
בבאר אומן ושלב וענייני כבוד.
Air is what?
Be'er is the well, right, Miriam's bear.
Ah, the well.
The well, right. The
And
well.
the clouds
man.
of glory.
The clouds of glory.
כבוד וכי גבורותיך במלחמת האמורי וסיחון ואג.
And your strength, like in the wars against the Amori and Sichon.
וזה יורה אמרו אשר יעשה כי מילת אשר מיותרת אך הם שני הימים כמדובר.
And that's why the word Asher, which is redundant, because they're two separate things.
Can you explain that?
It's clear.
אמרו אשר יעשה כמילת אשר מיותר, אך הם שני עניינים כמדובר. So he's saying there are, Asher seems like
The two,
מיותר,
yeah,
but really it's pointing out there are two
separate.
matters here.
One is that Hashem was like
Oneness
everything
of
was
Hashem,
one, and the other is all the miracles he
all
performed.
these miracles on earth that he performs, and in heaven.
Okay, next title.
כשהתכלית נעדרת גם,
כשהתכלית,
כשהתכלית נעדרת גם הוכנות חסרות.
What is that?
כשהתכלית, when the purpose, right, נעדרת, is missing, גם ההכנות חסרות, so the preparations also lacking, also missing. You do all the preparations, but in the end you didn't put tefillin on, right? You were like getting yourself ready to put tefillin on, but you didn't put tefillin on. So all these preparations went to note.
והנה כל זה היא התחלה.
And this is all of this is the beginning.
שהחילותה להראות בכולו,
that you begin to show me.
ומילת, להראות חוזר אל הפסוק.
And he says,
the word,
started again.
right, leharot, to show, חוזר אל הפסוק, it goes back on a pasuk.
ותכלית כל זה הוא העברה אל הארץ.
And the beginning of all this is
The tachlit is the purpose, right,
is to go to the land.
right.
ואם כן, אחר שסותך כל ההכנות וההתחלות,
If that's the case, then all the starts and preparation.
למה ייבצר התכלית? So why the tachlit, the purpose, the, so to speak, fulfillment, the result is missing. Tachlit, right? Tachlis, result.
But Sarah is missing?
Yeah. Batzer is like less. Missing.
כי לא שלם כל אשר הראיתוני בהיעדר תכליתו.
Because
כי לא שלם, because it's not complete, right? שלם, right?
Yeah.
לא שלם, it's not complete. כל אשר, all that is, הראיתני, that you showed me. בהיעדר תכליתו, without the conclusion, right?
Beheder is again?
היעדר is absence, lack.
ויוקן אברה נא וכולו.
And therefore, semi-across,
ולא תהיינה הכנות בלי תכלית.
and so that we don't have things
Preparations without the fulfillment.
I'm guessing he's going. The answer is that it is going to be fulfilled just without you.
But no, but it's like a very logical kind of argument that Moshe is trying to present his case, you know, right? He's like very deliberate about it.
תחילה הראה הרבה הרבה. תחילה הראה הרבה מעצמו ולבסוף לא הראה אפילו קצת.
At the beginning you started to show, at the end you didn't show anything.
No, in the beginning, תחילה הראית הרבה. In the beginning you showed a lot, right? Meaning all these miracles, right? The Makot and the Jet Mitzrayim and the sea, and, right? הרבה, מעצמו, of himself, right? ולבסוף, but in the end, לא הראה אפילו מקצת. Even a little bit you don't want to show me. Show me now the land, you know? Just let me just... Which is really Hashem did show him. He took him to the mountain, he showed him.
Oh, יאמר,
What you could say.
שקרא למשה איתו יתברך,
That Hashem called to Moshe,
כאשר יקרא למראה לעבדו זקן ביתו כל בית נכלתו.
that's the which you cry.
Okay, let's see. כאשר יקרא
You should show him his servant.
right.
Zikna.
Zakan Beito, like he's old, who is like old in his house, right? Well known. He's like in charge of his house, right? He has this old servant who knows everything in his house, called Beit Nechato.
ומחמד.
What's Nachato?
Nechato is like his presence. ומחמדיו הטובים, all his treasures, מחמדים, like חמוד, חמד.
מבלי מבקש העבד מאיתו, מה רק מעצמו יראהו.
And he believed the invitation without asking.
העבד מאיתו, even without servant asking anything, right? Moshe Rabbeinu didn't ask in the beginning, right? Hashem asked him to come, I'll show you all these miracles, right? It's like in your house, you know, you have this your favorite servant, you want to show him all the treasures, you say, come here, I'll show you what I have, you know.
ואחר כך יחנה קולו,
So רק
ואחר כך,
רק
רק מעצמו
יראהו.
יראהו. He, so to speak, by himself he showed it to him. The Eved didn't ask him, show me all of that. But רק מעצמו יראהו, right? The master, he feels good, he likes him, he wants to show him everything.
ואחר כך בחנה קולו בחומה
חולו בכמה תחינות.
And then he
So then Yochanan, he like begs him, Yochanan Kolo, he begs with his voice, become a techinot with this, a lot of this,
few ways.
what is it?
In a few ways. Or a
Well,
few
techina is like a, begging or like, praying,
requests.
requests.
יראהו המלך כיס מלא דינרים.
He shows the servant a pocket full
The
of
king shows him
money.
his wallet, his safe full of gold denarium,
אשר לא יערכו לאומה בערך אשר הראה לו המלך מעצמו.
That's interesting. Let's see. אשר לא יערכו למאומה בערך
as if they had no value at all.
בערך אשר הראה לו המלך מעצמו. What does it mean? That there's no value למאומה for nothing בערך אשר הראה לו המלך מעצמו. Oh, comparing to the fact that the king himself shows it, right? He's there, like what the king says, let me show you my safe. To him it really doesn't have meaning. What's the main thing here? That wow, king invites me to see his treasures. That's what's so valuable here, because you can't take any gold from the king. So what is it to me? You want to show me your safe, right? What do I get out of it? But the mere fact that king is inviting you into his safe to show you his treasures, that's what is like, so wow, king took me to, you know what, now you can tell everybody, right? You know what where I was today? The king invited me to the palace, he showed me all his collection of all of his treasures. So I think that's what he's saying here, that by itself that the king has this gold, it's nice, but what is it to me? But the fact that he's taking me to show it all to me, wow, now I can tell everybody, king loves me, right?
ולא יתרצה אליו כן הדבר הזה.
And it wouldn't bother him, this thing?
ולא יתרצה, hold on, interesting, there's a twist here. אשר לא יחנה, בערך אשר הראה לו המלך מעצמו, ולא, there's another twist here, right? So now, you're saying, okay, you took me there, it's great, you showed me all your treasures, but really, lo itratzeh elav, but you are like, you don't like me. But, right, even though what would you think, right? If the king, right, Trump invited you to Mar-a-Lago, he showed you all his yacht, everything, but but you feel he doesn't like you.
He doesn't ask you to stay.
He doesn't want you to stay, and he's just like, really he doesn't like you. He's just like angry with you, he doesn't like you. So that's what is happening here, Hashem. You're showing me all these miracles and everything, but you don't take me to Eretz Israel. So it's like really, you sort of like, you don't like me really? I think that's what he's
You want to
saying.
stop now? or-
Then that's how this thing of not letting Moshe
Can
Rabbeinu.
we do one more?
I'm not in the rush because I don't have a call today,
So
so
let's
we
read.
could.
Because you might not learn.
Right, I might not be.
והוא כמו שהמוזל,
And that's like the sages say.
אתה האכילותה,
You started
אתה התחלת להראות לעבדך ניסים וגברות,
You started to show your servant your wonders.
שנאמר, ויאמר משה, אסורה נא ואראה את המראה.
Therefore,
One thing I have to say, it really shows us the importance of Eretz Israel, right? How
Yeah.
Moshe was really
like nothing else.
Right.
No, it's like
All of these jewelers and everything.
it's like we sing Diana, if you buy us. But what we really mean is, of course, you're not going to stop until.
Right.
Moshe says, send me, take me across the Yarden now. So you can show me. No? Et hamar'eh.
Hold on, let's see. Vayomer Moshe Asura na. No, ve'ered hamar'eh. It's a posuk, right, by the snare. Right?
By the snare?
Yeah, but, right, that's what he's saying here, right? V'hu Moshe amru zal, like the sages teach, ata hachelata, right? You started showing me, right? Ata hitchalta leharot leavdecha nisim v'gvurot. You started showing your servant this great nisim and power and gvurot.
You're talking about the tree?
No, hold on. That right? We're now explaining. What does it mean when the pasuk says, "You began to show me your nisim," right? Moshe is telling Hashem. So the Rav Alshech says, like, what is it? Which nisim is he talking about? Right? Sheneemar in the Shmot, Vayomer Moshe, the Moshe said in the pasuk, right? Asura na ve'ered hamar'eh. By the snare, what happened?
But he was talking to himself then.
Right. He saw this burning bush, and he said, Asura na, let me go and see that wondrous mareh, this vision, right? V'chulu.
V'hiyeh ha'inyan ata ha'chiluta leharot oti et godlecha.
And this is the matter at hand. He says, you started to show me your strength.
Right.
Hu kiviyachol et kavodecha.
In other words, your honor.
Right.
Elah shelo
Your glory, quote Hashem, right?
Elah shelo ratza Moshe.
But Moshe didn't want.
Right.
Tiktiv v'yaster Moshe panav mehabit el ha'elohim.
And he was out of humility. He decided not to gaze.
He
at this
covered
phenomenon.
his face, as it says, right?
Ve'amar lo achar ka'ach
He says to him afterwards,
Kisheh sha'al har'ini na et kvodecha.
when he asked afterwards in Mount Sinai, show me your kavod, this is after the Chet HaEgel.
K'sheratziti lo ratzita v'cholo.
When I wanted, you didn't want.
Mm-hmm. Who's talking to whom?
Hashem says to Moshe, when I wanted to show you my glory, you didn't want.
Now you want, right? V'amarata, so now he's saying,
Ahachilota kilomar shehaya omer liYisrael.
You started, means to say, like you saying to
Kelomar, like saying,
Israel.
Shehayom, right, that he was saying to Jewish people,
Ra'u ataki ve'etkanan el Hashem kama minei
Techinot.
techinot.
See now
Right.
all the prayers
Mhm.
that I said to Hashem.
Kama minei techinot.
And how many
All
stoppings?
kinds of supplications, right? Techina, supplication.
supplication.
Yeah, that's the word. I was looking for it before.
Ma gam levotenu zal she'amru shehitchanan kaminyan ve'etchanan.
He implored, meaning he implored.
He implored with, right? Shehitchanen keminyan is a gematria of Veitchanan. Now you can make the Rashban yourself. I don't remember exactly. It was 400 something here, right?
What was he trying to say?
That's how much he davened, how many prayers he prayed. Shehitchanen, that he prayed, keminyan Veitchanan, the gematria of Veitchanan, which is 400, 500, 515, I guess, if my math is good.
Yeah, it's
Something like that. The noon twice is 100, so it's 40, 500, 7 and 8, 15, yeah.
Ve'yu lomar acher kach ata ha'chilota v'chulo.
And that's why he said afterwards, you started.
Kilomar bli tachanonim ha'chilota me'atzmecha leharot et abdecha et godlecha v'gam et yadecha ha'charzaka ha'nisim v'nefliot mi yadecha.
He's saying you started to show all your things.
Right, the bli tachnonim, like Hashem, you really started right with that whole thing with when I wanted, you didn't want to, right? So really, kind of Hashem, you started showing it all to me, even when I was like, didn't want to look at all of this, right? So now I beg you so much, you know.
It's interesting because the whole thing of Nadav and Abihu started because they were gazing at Matan Torah. So why are you criticizing Moshe for not gazing at the tree? I think there's a point of humility and good. So why are you criticizing him?
Well, I think hold on. What? Why are you criticizing him for looking or not looking?
For looking.
He
For
didn't
not
look,
looking.
he turned
For
away.
not looking.
Right.
We're criticizing Nadav and Abihu for looking.
Right.
Because it wasn't correct. So what? And
Well,
so saying,
I hear your question. I think I understand your question, but I think the difference is because here Hashem, so to speak, volunteered invited Moshe to look, right? And Moshe turned away. Right? In other words, it was above he wasn't ready for all of this yet.
Right.
But Nadav and Abihu, there is, I think, the idea there is that somehow they on their own, that Hashem lo tziva Hashem. There was a whole thing that they were not commanded by Hashem, which is a very important,
But I didn't see the conclusion of this. I don't.
Well, he explained. What the question, the matter in the discussion was, what does it mean that why Moshe saying that you began to show me all of these things?
So we can understand that because he's saying that the tachlit is to go to Eretz Israel. So you showed me all these miracles in Mitzrayim and the Matan Torah and the will and the Hananiko, but you didn't give me to the Promised Land.
Right.
So, but I don't see the answer to that.
Right now, what Rav Alshech is answering is why the pasuk says "Atah chochelata." What does it mean you started, right? So I think what he is driving at is that now Moshe wants to, right? In other words, now Moshe is begging, "Let me go," but Hashem is. But so he's saying, when I didn't want, you wanted to show. You showed me all of this, right? So now I want, why don't you show me?
But what's Hashem's answer?
I don't know, we didn't get there yet. This is just all questions. But Moshe is trying to imply all these techniques how to win the favor, so to speak, that Hashem will respond in kind, But so far he's not.
Can we do that last paragraph?
Okay.
ואם שגם ישראל ראו היד חזקה.
Let's read the title, it helps a little bit.
ישראל ראו בארץ
ומשה ראה גם בשמיים. Right, so Israel
saw
בארץ, on the land,
and Hashem saw also.
And Moshe saw also in heavens, right?
ואם שגם ישראל ראו היד החזקה.
And are you saying that Israel also saw the hand, big hand?
לא היה גדר ראייתם בגדר שראיתי בעיניי אשר מיאל בשמיים בארץ וכולו.
They didn't have the...
In the same, so to speak, realm, שראיתי בעיניי. The Jewish people saw, they also saw these great miracles, but it was not the same type, right? שראיתי בעיניי, that Moshe is speaking, that I saw.
That's why it says Abdecha,
Right.
servant.
מיאל בשמיים ובארץ, that whole unity between, right, that Moshe saw.
כי גם כשישראל רואים בעיניהם כי אין בארץ יעשה כמעשיו.
That Israel saw in their eyes that there's nothing in the earth.
No, כי אין, a kind of likeness, בארץ, right, that is done on the land, on the aretz, יעשה כמעשיו, like it's done on the land, right? We like see sort of in physical sense everything, right? How it's all happening.
ויש איתם אמונה שלמה שגם בשמיים אין עושה כמעשיו.
They had complete faith that also in the heavens there's nobody who could be like Hashem.
Right.
וראו מופתים גדולים.
They saw big miracles.
כמו שאמרו ז"ל,
As they said in the sages say,
שאמר הקדוש ברוך הוא אנוכי השם.
Hashem, they had Hashem say on the Ten Commandments.
It's this week's, by the way, the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
ואילו היה הלילה רשות אחר.
As if it was the night.
No, ואילו היה חלילה.
And if it was a different
חס
authority,
וחלילה, right? חלילה,
like a different power,
רשות אחר. Maybe there is different power there, חס וחלילה.
היה עונה.
he would have answered.
וגם השתיק הוא יתברך את כל העולם.
And he silenced the whole world.
ועשה שלו יהיה לקולו בת קול.
He made it so that there would be no sound.
There was no even echo. Interesting. When Hashem spoke, Hashem silenced all the sounds. There was no any other sounds, and even there was no even echo. So people shouldn't think that maybe there is somebody else there.
He habara.
He havara. Yeah, he's explaining what bat kol is. Havara.
There's no friend. There's no.
Lekol lebal itu be'acher.
There was no other sound.
Right. So that they shouldn't make a mistake. Maybe there's somebody else. Bal itu be'acher. That they might say that it's somebody. They might make a mistake, thinking that it's somebody else.
וידעו כי אין זולתו.
They knew that there was nobody apart from Hashem.
Right.
באופן שכל הניסים הם מידו יתברך ודאי.
Because all the miracles came from Hashem.
גם שלא עלו השמיימה לראות ממש כי אין שם זולתו.
They didn't go up to heaven to see that there's nobody else there. They just took it for granted.
So implying that Moshe did go up.
Right.
That's what he's saying here, right? Israel, that was the title. Israel ra'u ba'aretz ve'Moshe ra'a gam b'shamayim. We only saw on the land that there is nobody, but Moshe actually went up and checked the famous thing with the Russian astronaut who first time he flew to space. He said, "I saw there was nobody there. There's no God, you know." The other way around, you know. All right. Oh, a little more, okay.
אך עתה מעלות משה על כל זה.
That's why Moshe said all these things.
The Moshe's level, right? Moshe's Ma'ala, his greatness, higher than everybody.
שעיניו ראו ממש ולא זר.
Because his eyes actually saw.
And not a stranger. He himself saw, right? He's not from somebody else's transcription.
כי הוא עלה למרום.
He went up to the mountain.
והראהו הוא יתברך הכל.
Hashem showed him everything.
כמו שאמרו ז"ל על פסוק בכל ביתי נאמן הוא.
Amongst all of my household, he is the one that is the most reliable.
כי כל מה שלמעלה הראהו.
Because all that he has seen.
Everything that above, he showed him. Hashem showed him.
ולא נעלם דבר אשר לא
There was
הראהו.
nothing that he didn't show.
Right.
באופן הוא ראה בעיניו כי אין בשמיים וגם בארץ אשר יעשה כלום.
There's nobody heaven and earth that can say. It's just frustrating because it's just, I still don't have an answer. Let's just do that last part.
Okay.
Well, then we have to finish the
No,
whole...
we just have to, because there's a new pasuk in a minute.
ואם כן,
Hold on, so let's see where is the answer.
There's no answer. It's just saying that Hashem, that Moshe is the only one that went up and could say those things.
Yeah, but
Bashamayim va'aretz.
hold on. You want to know what Hashem answered Moshe?
Yeah,
Why
why he says
not?
no. Yeah.
So I think here, if we go here, right? Lo tosef daber le'od. Turn the page to Pei Het. Pei Het to the next side of the page. Pei Het, I'm sorry. Right? And there is here the very first right title.
אל תבקש גם במה שנוגע לכבוד השם.
Don't ask to see the glory of God. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That
That's it.
paragraph?
Yeah, let's see this
Very
paragraph.
odd, and not, furthermore,
אלא שהוסיף ואמר אל תוסף דבר אלי עוד בדבר הזה.
he said, don't add any more to this request.
Right.
והוא כאשר נשית לב אל אמרו דבר אלי
Pay attention. It says, speak to me.
כי אמרו אלי ייראה מיותר
Because me, the me sounds redundant.
אך הוא כי אין ספק כי תועלת בנו בכורו ישראל הוא כבודו יתברך.
There's no doubt that his
To'eled b'no b'choro Yisroel hu kvod yitbarach. That Hashem was doing it for the to'eled, for the benefit of the Israel, his chosen son, the firstborn son. Why Hashem was not letting Moshe to go in? For the sake of the people, because you had to wean Jewish people from, it's like a baby that wants to keep, breastfeeding from his mother. And this way, Jewish people are not going to develop into their potential if they always relying on Moshe Rabbeinu, right? We want this great tzaddik who's going to do all these miracles.
Yeah.
And then we kind of fall back, right? We kind of,
ואמר הקדוש ברוך הוא
למשה
למשה,
על הנוגע אליך
with regards to this matter,
רב לך
it's too
וזהו
much for you.
Rav, enough, it's enough.
וזהו אמרו אל רב לך אלי רב לך
And it says,
It's like it says the Pasuk, right? Eli, Rav, Lach. Hashem told me, too much for you, right? Rav, Lach.
ועל הנוגע אל כבודי
regarding my honor,
שהוא להדריך את ישראל לעבודתי
that it was my job to bring them to
into my work, right? Into my service.
ובפרט שתהיה הארץ נוחה לכבש בזכותך לפניהם
ובפרט, especially, or particularly, שתהיה הארץ, that the land of Israel, right, should be נוחה, easy לקבל, to conquer בזכותך לפניהם, because of your זכות.
came before them.
Right.
שהוא כדבר נוגע אלי אל תוסף דבר אלי עוד בדבר הזה.
Therefore, he says to me,
don't continue, don't add דבר, talking to me, al dvar hazeh. Meaning that what?
Is this what it
I'm
is?
doing it this for the
For the Jewish people, right?
It's for the people.
Right.
It'd be good if you're the one that brings it
Right,
up.
because, I mean, there are other explanations, based on all of this, is that Moshe was basically a miraculous, his whole leadership was based on the miracles. But conquering Eretz Israel had to be like more kind of natural way of doing it, fighting the wars and settling the land, and was just like a different generation coming in.
I hope we learn tomorrow. It feels incomplete.
Incomplete, well, all
We
right.
only had two. We only had 2 lessons because we only had the question and one answer. So
All
it's
right,
like
listen,
not.
In the next cycle, when we get back,
Yeah, next time.
God willing,
Next time.
Look, it's like our children ask us and we finally tell them, look, I know fast.
Teku.
It's a kushia, I think